Hey there, YouTube. It is Saturday and it's December 10th. And just got done working a few days in the emergency department, and it was interesting. We're busy. We've got a ton of boarders. We're having a heck of a time getting patients admitted to the hospital. Uh, the first person I saw when I came on duty at 7 o'clock in the morning the other day had already been there 12 hours. Now, it wasn't a COVID person, it was somebody who was from another country who had just arrived in New York and had a rash for 8 months. And somebody brought him to the emergency department at 10 o'clock at night the night before, and I saw him about 8 o'clock in the morning the next morning. So, somebody that probably didn't necessarily need to be in the emergency department, but on the other hand, didn't have anywhere else to go either. That's pretty much the story. So I'll go from seeing that to the next case will be cardiac arrest that comes in, or a drug overdose, and then the next thing is a lady that comes in that's COVID positive, but breathing fine, but she's just super weak, lives by herself, and just isn't safe to go home. She can't take care of herself because she's just too weak. She didn't need to come in the hospital because of COVID necessarily. She came in because she was just too weak to go home and take care of herself. So we admitted her to the hospital. So it's just a little insight into what goes on in a day in the emergency department. On top of that, a lot of psychiatric cases, a couple suicide attempts. It's kind of like everyday occurrence. There's nothing that's really different going on. Yeah, I mean, we're seeing a few COVIDs, but everything that you see on the news about how the hospitals are bursting at the seams, okay, that may be true, and COVID cases are rising, and that may be true, but it's not true that they're both linked. I mean, we're admitting some people to the ICU, yes, but you know what? We've been admitting people to the ICU since we've had ICUs, and I just don't get it. I'm sure that there's pockets, there's isolated areas that are probably seeing a little bit different picture than what I see, but it just bothers me when the media just simply portrays this as there's a whole bunch of COVID cases and they're filling up all the ICUs. It's just not been my experience. And yes, I know I'm one person, but I talk to other people and I kind of keep track of what's being said out on social media. And I don't know. I just don't see it happening the way that the media portrays it to be. But what I want to do now is I want to get a better understanding of just what is going on with COVID in general. What's going on with the variants, and is this really something we should be worried about? And I tell you, I don't want to listen to the government. What I want to listen to are virologists. And there's a lot of virologists that are on YouTube that I've been following that really have a different perspective than what you're seeing on the news. And I think these are the people that maybe we should start watching, learning a little bit more about what virology is, a little bit more about what COVID is, and what the risk really is. Again, I don't want to sound like I'm, skeptical about the severity of COVID, because I'm not. I mean, I've seen some people that have been extremely sick from it, and there's always somebody that will come up to me and say, "Well, my brother's best friend died of COVID." I'm sure. I'm sure of that. I'm also sure that, especially during the H1N1 pandemic, I had a lot of people that died from influenza. It's just, listen, disease is terrible and being sick is terrible. There's no question about it. But I think we got to have some sort of perspective here, and there has to be some sort of truth. And I don't really know where the truth lies. And you probably can hear the frustration in my voice because I just don't know what to believe. All I know is I go into work, I work in an emergency department, I work in a busy emergency department in an urban area. I see all kinds of sick people coming in: stabbings, shootings, car accidents, suicide attempts, pediatric, this, that, and the other thing. I'm seeing all of that. And then I'm seeing some COVID cases. But it's not what they claim. I don't know. It's just really, really bothersome to me. So anyway, I'm going to talk some more about this here in a little bit, but I just wanted to throw it out there right now just because I'm frustrated and I'm getting tired of it. So, talk to y'all soon. Have a good night.